Om Sthapakaya cha dharmasya sarvadharmasvarupine avatara varisthaya Ramakrishnaya te namaha. So, we are coming to the end of the chapter, Master and Keshab. The last tiny paragraph. It was late. Surendra had not yet returned. The master had to leave for temple garden and a cab was brought for him. Yam and Narendra saluted him and took their leave. Sri Ramakrishna's carriage started for Dakshineshwar through the moonlit streets. With that the chapter ends. Narendra M. and M. Master, who is the author of this Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, Naren, both saluted and Master's carriage started. Both are important characters in the Leela. One who has given us this precious wealth, Yam of the Master, though he was just coming once in a week, the rest of the days nobody has recorded. Just once in a week he used to come, and whatever Master had to give to the world was given through him. The rest was perhaps not meant for us to know. Most of the direct disciples and other intimate ones who have reached the top of this spiritual world, they remained with Sri Ramakrishna on those days. And what they discussed, what Sri Ramakrishna taught the intimate disciples is nowhere in our records. But when M came, whenever Naren and others were there, some of the glimpses, what they would have experienced, we understand. The rest is unknown and unknowable to us till we enter the past where Sri Ramakrishna's Leela went on. This Leela is eternal, and if we can enter into it, we can see the whole play. And even in our lives, whatever is linked to God and spiritual will remain forever. The rest will go away. From morning till night, how much of time did we spend in divine awareness or spiritual awareness? Perhaps practically none. We were filled with divine awareness and doing the duties of life. That state has not arrived in most of our lives. Awareness is filled with divine and mind is working in the world. Body is working in the world. That state we have to attain, and whatever that becomes a part of our existence, and it remains forever in the cosmic existence. And rest, every moment that I spent forgetful of the divine disappears because it doesn't have existence. Whatever I do in awareness of the divine will remain as spiritual part of my being. And it is that which decides what worth am I. My worth is decided by my spiritual awareness, the spiritual attainments. Every bit of my thought, feelings and actions that I do in divine awareness becomes a part of the eternal. So also Sri Ramakrishna's avatars, every bit is in reality, and every bit of the Leela remains. And any time anybody enters into the Leela aspect of God, whether it is Krishna or Rama, every bit is open. We can pass through along with the Leela. So here Narayana also has lot of things to give to the world. He has to bring about the transformation. He has to do work of the Divine Mother, and for that he has been brought. And he has bowed down, and for the day they are away from each other. Sri Ramakrishna is going back, but he is resting in their hearts. The Narayana also, we see, is in the awareness and thought of Sri Ramakrishna always, because he is the one who is going to carry the message of the Master to every soul, deposit Sri Ramakrishna in every heart. So Ramakrishna is constantly thinking of him, and he is thinking of Ramakrishna. You see, the awarenesses, once you catch the divine in your heart, you will not miss it. We don't know how to enter the heart of our existence. Heart means the innermost core of our being. When I sleep, I leave the physical body, the subtle body, that's mind and senses. Then I leave the causal body, in which all my knowledge and identity remains when I sleep. The physical body, which is bound to the activities and perception of the world. Then the subtle body, which I experience, which I am associated with only in dream. In waking, all the three bodies I am pervading, this causal, subtle and gross. And gross I am withdrawing, I am still pervading the subtle and causal, then I am in dream state. I leave the subtle body also, that is mind and senses. Just like I leave the physical body and enter into sleep, I leave the subtle body, the mind and senses also. Mind and senses will be lying down just like body. And I enter into the causal body, where my knowledge, my identity, my desires and ambitions, everything connected with me goes to the seed form, and from there I go. This is where I go ultimately, and rest is the core of my existence, and that is called heart. It is there we get the vision of God. We enter deep in meditation, we enter the same way. In sleep, we enter backward. Nature takes us, closing our eyes, and we don't remember what happened after we slept, what all I experienced, how I went, why I came back, I don't know. Nature takes me, nature brings me back. Can I go to the same state by turning inward and taking up the inward journey and go consciously? Yes, that's called meditation. In the same way I enter into sleep, I enter consciously to the same core of my own being. When I try to, there my individual consciousness expands in the universal consciousness. If my consciousness can perceive, keep that longing to see God in the core of my heart, and God happens to manifest there, he will never be missed. We will not miss him even in waking state coming. We will not be missing him in the heart of our hearts. In the heart of heart he will remain, and when I come to waking state also, I am aware of God sitting in the heart. Now when I come to the waking state, I am not aware of my inner core of my being at all. I am not aware. I am aware of the external world. I can't even view my mind. I am only external world I can see with the five senses. And if I happen to go to the depth of my being, we consciously longing for God, then God manifests there. And when I come out from the dream, I will not be missing him. I will feel his presence there also. Once in Surdas' life, Surdas is born blind. He can't see. Whenever he used to sing, he is blind, he used to sing. Whenever he used to sing, actually Krishna would come and present himself, sit quietly and listen to the song, because he can't see. Sometimes he would give an inkling that I have come. And he would, with great eagerness, he wants to touch, he wants to see, he wants to meet. But Krishna would escape, and leaving some presents there, which he is not very wanting at all. One day it so happens, he catches, he touches him, catches him. He wants to hold him by the time Krishna escapes. And then wherever he moves about, he calls from here, calls from there. Surdas is running about here and there. The whole day the play is going on. And finally, Surdas gets exhausted. And he comes and sits in his asana again and says, you would be real hero if you can escape from my heart. You can escape from outer world. Neither the outer world belongs to me, nor I can see or have anything. But I have access to my own existence, which is deep within me, and you are there. From there you cannot escape, because it is my possession. My own self is in my possession, and you are there. If you escape from my heart, then I will call you great, a hero. So once we get the vision of God in the heart of our heart, then we will not be missing him any time. We will be feeling his presence even when we come to the waking state. We come from the depth of our meditation to the Vyuthana state of normal consciousness. When we enter into spiritual consciousness to see the divine within, when we come down to normal consciousness also we see. We continue to see him in the heart. That's Naren, and Naren is parting from Thakur, going down, but he is carrying that Sri Ramakrishna in his heart. And Sri Ramakrishna is going to Dakshineshwar. He is carrying Naren. They are carrying each other in their hearts, inseparable. So also we are. There is not much difference. We are also carrying God within, but we are never aware. Never we have seen, nor can understand. Though we go to the core of our existence every day in sleep, we don't find him, because we are not aware. We are not consciously going there. In meditation, we consciously go. So, we will enter the new chapter. the Master with the Brahmo devotees. October 28, 1882, it was Saturday. The semi-annual Brahmo festival, celebrated each autumn and spring, was being held in Beni Madhav Pal's beautiful garden house at Srinthi, about 3 miles north of Calcutta. The house stood in a secluded place suited for contemplation. Trees laden with flowers, artificial lakes with grassy banks, and green arbors enhance the beauty of the gardens, just as the fleecy clouds were turning gold in the light of the setting sun. The Master arrived. Detailed description of the state of affairs and how it looked, what it happened. This is an important part of giving details. What Sri Ramakrishna did, what Sri Ramakrishna talked is one part. Another part, whole situation, how it was, whole atmosphere, how it was, how was the things in and around. Because these influence the mental states. When we enter a busy place, how our mental state changes. When we enter a secluded place, how our mental state changes. People who ever come to our ashrama here, we see them entering with great joy and moving about freely. They experience something, they don't know what they experience. The moment they are going out of the gate, they find themselves again as they were. They get transported when they come inside and move about. Nobody need to talk to them. They silently come, move about, enjoy and go. What do they? Is it the silence that influences them? No. Is it the people and plants and trees? No. Such things are there everywhere. But the difference is spiritual vibrations. Here, nobody talks about the worldly things. Nobody talks about anything which is not to be thought over and talked to. Here, people talk only about divine things, spiritual matters, what is unavoidable for making a living, not beyond. So when these things are happening, the moment they enter, it is charged with spiritual atmosphere. Knowingly and unknowingly, every inmate contributes to it just by avoiding the worldly thoughts. Again and again I repeat and request, no worldly thoughts, no thoughts of the world. No talks about other things which can be avoided. Any amount you talk or discuss spiritual matters doesn't matter. But if you talk even a little of the world, of worldly things, it is like putting a drop of curd in an ocean of milk. It gets spoiled. Whole ocean will be responsible for bringing worldly vibrations inside the spiritual world. So we have to maintain our inner purity also at all times, to maintain the spiritual awareness, spiritual vibrations that are spread here. When we came, we had visited many sights, some of them are more beautiful than what we are living in, but deprived of spiritual awareness. When we entered into this place, as we were entering, we saw we are captured. We are becoming something like mesmerized. Oh, what is this? What's happening? First visit, it is heart capturing. We were in rapture. Silently we sat, started singing bhajans, Vedic chanting. Silently we sat for some time, unable to talk to each other or discuss anything. We were many, and everybody felt that something is there which is worthwhile. And here there is a tradition that anything is to be built or utilized a place, they go to certain people who are experts in knowing the secrets of the places. When the earlier owner, went to build a house here, he went to the proper astrologers and priests who could tell about this place. And they said, if you want to build a house there, first you have to build a temple and then build your house. Land belongs to the Lord. There is some spiritual treasure there which has to be preserved. And as a householder, if you want to live there, you have to first make a place for the Lord to stay. You have to build a temple and then build your house. He was afraid. People are not afraid of worldly things, they are afraid of God. So strange to hear. We are afraid of God. We are not afraid of man or worldly enjoyments, which is poison. We are not afraid of poison. We are afraid of nectar. So he did not build. He was waiting if somebody comes and takes it off. When he got the offer for ashrama to be built, he was very happy. And he gave away. And that we understand, all this came after we selected the land. We did not know earlier. And then we used to think, oh, in some thousands of years back, some saintly person or a spiritual aspirant, he must have lived here and did lot of spiritual practices and austerities like an ascetic, and struggling, he must have attained God. He must have attained the grace and then must have left his body here. Those vibrations are still continuing. We used to feel and we used to think. There is no evidence except that whoever enters, they experience the spiritual atmosphere here. So we too did experience that. So he is explaining a place where these Leela searchers are going to meet. Sri Ramakrishna himself is going there to go to a place where an incarnation of God to reach a place, what that place worth is. In the description, we get a glimpse of it. Oh, it was so beautiful. He had bought that land exclusively for spiritual practices, where there is silence, where there is no disturbance from outside, and made the inner arrangements, beautiful gardens and flowering plants, and all things conducive to spiritual living. So this is how even to normal person to go, if he has spiritual attitude or spiritual aspiration, that place must be calling him. That place must be waiting for him who is seeking spiritual things. Just as the fleecy clouds were turning gold in the light of the setting sun, the Master arrived. The clouds were becoming golden in color, fleecy golden color, as if molten gold is being poured. Setting sun, just setting sun gives various colors. Once I was traveling in a vehicle in US, last time when I went, we were quite high speed, the setting sun, and the sky was unimaginable, so beautiful color, and I had never seen such a beautiful color combinations in the sky. I myself was in rapture, and just the vehicle is running at high speed, I cannot ask them to stop and take a photo also. That was the first and last sight that I had of that beautiful sky at the sunset. So Sri Ramakrishna is, the changes are there in nature, and to add to that beauty, Sri Ramakrishna has come there. When Rama used to come to the court, it seems all hearts would bloom in joy. Everybody used to feel that joy of his coming. Many devotees had attended the morning devotions, and in the afternoon, people from Calcutta and neighboring villages joined them. Shivnath, the great Brahmo devotee whom the Master loved dearly, was one of the large gatherings of the members of the Brahmo Samaj, who had been eagerly awaiting Sri Ramakrishna's arrival. You see, the function begins early in the morning. It is our normal, especially the Ramakrishna tradition, everywhere we see at least an hour before the sunrise, we all join. Suppose here sunrise is 6 o'clock, then we join at 5 o'clock. We get up and any functions we begin early, 6:30, and attend to the all morning devotions. Bhajans will be there, worship will be there. By 9 o'clock we finish everything. First part of the function, go for our breakfast. So here also we see we are in the tradition. The tradition is continuing. This is not what we have started. It has come down from those days, morning. So morning devotions were complete. Many devotees had attended the morning devotions, and in the afternoon, people from Calcutta and neighboring villages joined them. Because the local people nearby, they can come. from far off to come, Calcutta and all. They have to take some vehicles, this, that. Private vehicles is only horse carriages, and they have to come. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.